Happy birthday, Steven.
Steven. Thought you guys forgot.
Happy birthday, Steven. Cha 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 cha.
It's okay with Jared doing it, but it's creepy with Todd doing it.
Happy birthday,
Oh, God.
Mr. Eckert. Now you can finally buy cigarettes.
Yeah, how old are you now? 27?
Thanks,
28?
27.
You know what
Officially.
did I get you a present last year, or was that already 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Oh, so I didn't get you a gift last year?
So
You said
own
happy
two
birthday.
now.
You know what gift I got him last year?
What?
A full-time job.
Close. I mean,
So you know what I got you this year?
August.
I
Full-time
don't
job
have
still?
anything. I don't have anything. Yeah, you still have a full-time
Yes,
job.
that's
I was
good
trying
to
to
know.
come up with something, but
It's
we
been
kinda-
almost a year, actually, since I've been working officially full-time.
Full-time?
Yeah. Middle of August is when it really happened.
Worst
Yeah.
mistake you ever made.
I still dread that mistake every
Regret
day.
it every day.
Anyway, Joe, who's over there,
Yes.
brought you a burr.
Oh, a birthday beer, yes. Now, this is a beer I haven't tried yet, and in Jersey, it's like trying to find hidden treasure. It's impossible to find. It's called Not Your Father's Root Beer. The whole twist around it is it's heavy in alcohol, 5.9%, but it tastes apparently identical
Well,
to mug root
Can
beer.
I smell it when you open it to see if it smells like beer? Because you know I don't like beer.
Sure. And this is the first time I'm trying it. I've never tried it, ever.
Good.
So
you and
you-
all the sorority sisters are gonna have a
wanna
grand
try
old
first?
time with that.
Do I want to? I want to smell it.
Sounds like Zima.
Well, it actually doesn't smell like beer.
No?
No, it smells like
Jared,
I don't
drink
like
it.
root
Jared,
beer.
drink it. Drink it. Drink it. Drink it, Jared. Everybody's doing it.
Everyone's doing
Yes. He's gonna vomit.
tastes like beer.
He's gonna vomit. He's gonna
it. Does
vomit.
it taste like beer?
It take a sip. It still has the underlying of beer in there.
No, dude.
We'll put it away because I don't like beer.
A very, very slight hint at the end of aftertaste of like alcohol.
I rather drink whiskey if I'm gonna drink.
Wow,
All right,
that really does taste like
Oh,
root
he's a
beer.
real
let's get
cowboy.
started.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jared Poland, FronosPhoto.com. Welcome to Raw Talk, episode number 143. And this week we will have an interview with my eye doctor.
Yes.
The eye doctor that I've been seeing since I was 2 years old. I believe
You're blind? You've been seeing
Seen
him?
is a relative term. Yeah, that's a
Right.
relative
I've been
term.
I've been there. I've been in the presence of my eye doctor since 1983.
Wow.
Or maybe I was
like,
a little older than
Todd
that.
was like 35 then, I think.
27.
So, Dr. Koller is one of the best eye doctors in the world.
Yeah.
He has
Best
done
eye doctor ever.
he has done a ton of surgeries. He did my surgery when I was 5. You're going to hear why he did the surgery and all of that. But just coming up, it's not just an interview about my eyes and what's
No.
wrong with them. It's meant to be for we all have eyes.
The photographer's eye.
Some people that listen to the Raw Talk are already blind or legally blind, so we did ask some questions regarding you because we've had some questions.
Yep.
But it's also about eye care, taking care of your eyes because they're very important, one, to see, and two, as a photographer, you want to make sure that you can see. So we'll have that coming up next. But Todd, what
My
happened to
eyes
your
are fine, thank you.
what happened to your car?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I forgot about this.
So the other day about 5:30 in the morning, I get a little. I think my. I got a little.
You got a
And
doorbell?
I was like, ugh. Did I make that up? Ran downstairs. The neighbor is outside with a bat. He's like, man, somebody just broke in your car. I was
there
like,
nails in the bat?
Son of a frick. No, there wasn't any nails. And broke in my car like this. Cops came. And I was like, and I'm just sitting out there, I think in my underwear and probably my eye shoot raw shirt.
if there
with a
was
cigarette.
Hold on. If there was ever a time to have an animated character,
It'd be Todd.
It would be Todd with
Totally.
a cigarette, his morning hair from Vegas. Leave me alone.
He looks like a crackhead.
A shirt stick, basically looking like he did on the Mr. Wives video shoot, which they'll get to see soon.
Very soon.
Go ahead, keep going.
That's the only positive part to getting my hair cut is I can wake up at random hours and I don't look like a crackhead.
the dude from Kingpin, you look like that.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a crackhead that was nice enough to air out my vehicle, and
Take nothing.
but he took absolutely nothing.
What did he do? Smash a window?
Smashed the window, but my stuff was open. My glove compartment, the little center thing was
Yeah.
open. Nothing. There was change in that center. I have a feeling dude scared the guy away. Because dude across the street is always on his porch, Raheem. Shout outs to Raheem because he
With a bat?
He was like, and then but they caught the guy, so they ID'd him. They caught the guy. He was in a park like a block or two away.
Was he doing crack?
I think he said that he was a skinny dude, so I think that's what motivated him. But nothing's stolen. The BlackBerry now has a new window, so it has lived to ride again.
All right. All right, we just wanted to get that out of the way. But it's a good idea not to have anything in your car if somebody's going to break into it. Todd didn't, but unfortunately they broke his window.
Yeah, I did the one time.
We're going to get to the Pluggy McPluggerson right now. This week we have Tokina. If you guys don't know who Tokina... If you don't know who Tokina is, they are a lens manufacturer. You have your third-party lens manufacturers, and they are one of them. I look at them at a much higher value than what Tamron does all day long. Tokina, and I learned this when I worked at Allen's, is that they had a lot of the designers that were at Nikon, or some of the designers, left to manufacture their own lenses. That's why the lenses rotate the same directions as the Nikons. So they have a new lens. They have a 24-70, they call it a Tokina AT-X, for Star Wars AT.
Oh, yeah, of course.
24-70 2.8 Pro FX lens, and they said in case anyone wants to know, ATX stands for Advanced Technology Extra. Whatever that extra means, just think that this is a sharp lens. I've known that the Tokinas are very good. Now, this is a $999 lens for a 24-70 full frame 2.8. If you're not going to spend, or you can't spend, the $1,800 for the Nikon,
I was gonna say not a bad
the
price
$2,200, $2,300 for the Canon, this is a good option to at least look at.
Oh, yeah.
So all I'm asking you to do is go to Tokina, Google Tokina lenses. A lot of people love that, 11 to 17 fisheye zoom 2.8 for their DX cameras. They have a lot of other lenses. They don't have a ton of lenses, but they actually make those really big cinematic ones.
The giant ones we saw
Did
at
you see
NAB.
those?
Yeah.
Remember those giant cinematics?
Literally the size of your head.
It was. So if
Yeah.
they're making huge-ass cinematic lenses, they're going to make other lenses that are quality as well.
Glass.
For video, there's a lot of guys that are always telling me about how they swear by like Tokina primes,
Really?
as a solution, as opposed to like getting 70 to 200 or something like that.
So the video primes.
Yeah.
Those are massive. Those are hunks of glass.
Yep.
But this one that they wanted me to talk about was a 24-70 2.8 Pro FX lens. If you're on full frame, you have a D610, you have a D750. If you can't afford to pick up the Nikon, or if you're on a Canon and you can't pick up the Canon, look for this option as a 24-70 for $1,000. It's going to be a quality piece of glass. So go to Tokina, look for it, just so that you can familiarize yourself. There is another company out there that has been around a long time that is a third-party manufacturer of glass.
Yeah.
And we'll call that.
Now, did you say that guys from another lens company went and started another lens? Like, is that how they formed?
From what I was told, allegedly, why don't I wrap it in allegedly? Supposedly, designers that were at Nikon left to develop their own glass.
So they went and started their own
They
band.
went and started their own thing. They're like, screw you guys, we're going home. And they started their own thing.
Okay, all right.
And so that's why, and I think that was the story that was relayed to me, whether Alan told me or Rob told me at Alan's camera. It really doesn't taste like beer. It tastes like root beer.
It's root beer, yeah. There is still, again, that slight
Take
hint
another
of
sip,
aftertaste.
Jared.
It's the less beer taste. Anyway.
Just one more sip.
No. They told me about the rings rotating the same way as the Nikons, and that's why the zoom went the same way and everything like that. So we
the opposite way.
Cool.
You look like a little bit tomato faced today.
Yeah, I'm a little burnt, a little bit.
What were you doing yesterday?
Shooting with you at Independence Hall.
And the Liberty Bell.
And the Liberty Bell, the Independence Mall in general.
Right.
And we were shooting a review. Two reviews.
Two real-world reviews.
Yes.
One was an 11 to 24 f4 from Canon, and then the other was the 300 f4 VR, the 300 f4e VR from Nikon, which is unbelievably incredible.
And it was an insanely sunny day out, not like a cloud in the sky until the end, at the way end. But yeah, I didn't really have time to put on lotion in the beginning of the day, sunscreen, and got a little fried on the face at least.
What?
What are you thinking?
Lotion.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Did we get any video of him rubbing lotion
got
on himself?
Snapchat
I put it on
video.
Snapchat, so I could probably still download it because it may have. Well, it may still be there.
It might still be there. but I
Steven
doubt
rubs the lotion on his skin.
Yeah.
And it was spray one too. It was the continuous.
Well,
spray.
we
It
were
wasn't
still just
even-
busting your
Yeah, I
balls.
know.
But we were out there. We're going to talk about the gear that we used when out there coming up for Gear of the Week, but we will save that until then. We're going to have photo news
Now,
in a second because the one-man crew
yes,
that we've been using week after week, that you love using this, right?
I do. I love it.
So this comes from Red Rock Micro, and they wanted to let me know. They wanted to let you know, if anybody's interested in this bad boy, just go to Red Rock Micro's website and take a look at the one-man crew. And if you decide that it's something you want to buy, they're going to give you 10% off, which is, I believe it sells for, is it over $2,000?
I think it is like $2,000.
So you're going to save at least $200 at 10% off when you use the
It's
code
a good sale price.
Froman Crew.
Froman Crew.
All one word.
Do they need an afro to use the code?
Froman Crew. Froman Crew.
Sounds like a hair product.
So we love using this each and every week. We love what it gives us the ability to do. I wanted to give them a shout out because we've used it for a lot, and they did give it to us. So we're giving them something back right there. If you guys want it, or you want to find out more information, watch videos of how it could be used, go to their website, redrock.
Yeah. And it only takes me
micro.com.
What, 2 minutes to set up each week, actually to pinpoint the limits, and that's it, really.
All right, so
it's great.
We need to come up with some music this week. What can we come up with, like sunny day weather music?
It should be like Independence Hall music, old colonial
music.
music.
Like do 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 do.
Like a little Pied Piper. Like.
Wait, is that the Confederate fight song? Is that the Confederate?
Dude.
That's the Confederate fight song?
Man. I don't know.
Do 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 do
so confident.
do do. Ba 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 ba. That's from me watching Glory.
All right, so we're gonna do some kind of colonial music.
Yeah, why don't we do some colonial old school music right now? All right, Steven, get to your news.
Photo news. We've got, first up, Google's Google Plus Photos service is officially shutting down. They say they're taking it down in an effort to ensure everyone has the best photos experience. Google Plus Photos will start shutting down on August 1st, so you guys got about a week to do that. The Android app will be the first to go, and then the web service and the iOS will follow. Now, the apps and websites may be going away, but your photos and videos will still be available through their new service that they just launched in May, which is just called Google Photos, no plus. Very confusing.
Well, I mean, in essence, what they've done here is they've gotten rid of the Google Plus because Google Plus is a bunch of crap, and your photos aren't going anywhere. They're going to consolidate into Google Photos.
Yep.
It makes sense. So if you're angry, don't be angry.
Are my photos still on MySpace?
If you don't want your images on Google Photos, though, the company says that you can export all your content from the service using Google Takeout. Next up, another death in the photo family. Kodak's 92-year-old film manufacturing building was demolished last week. 100 pounds of dynamite took down the historic Building 53 at Eastman Business Park in Rochester, New York. Now, the 250,000 square foot plant came down in just 20 seconds and was all caught on video, which I posted over on the website.
Did they use Kodak cameras? No.
I think they used like an iPhone to film it.
Oh, good for them.
Now, since 2003, Kodak has spent $200 million in demolishing around 45 buildings.
That's a good use of money.
Yeah.
Not. What are they doing with it? What are they putting in there instead?
I have no idea. I think they're just opening up the business park for more businesses.
Rochester, New York, right?
Yeah, Rochester, New York.
One of the worst places.
Eastman Business Park.
Easy.
I was going to say one of the worst places to be in the winter.
Okay.
Todd.
All right.
In the winter.
I love Rochester.
I've never been to Rochester. I just know that RIT is there, where people are like, if you don't go to RIT, you'll never get a photo job because everybody at RIT always gets a photo job. I know a girl didn't get a photo job coming out of school, going to RIT, learning technical bullshit.
She messed up.
Maybe. She's
Now,
also an anarchist.
It is pretty amazing, though, with this video to see a building that big come down in, like I said, like 20 seconds.
Got it.
The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating a teenager who weaponized a quadcopter earlier this month.
Yes.
Todd totally wants this.
How do I do that?
A YouTube video named Flying Gun was uploaded, which showcases a makeshift quadcopter carrying a loaded handgun. In the video, the gun is remotely triggered and fired numerous shots while the quadcopter is still in the air. Now, the copter was built by
Todd,
18...
Todd, wait, hold on. Are you having trouble with your app?
No.
Oh, you're actually meaning to do that?
Yeah, I'm making it loop.
Oh, great.
So the copter was built by an 18-year-old Connecticut mechanical engineering student named Austin Howat.
What?
Howat?
What?
Howat?
How spell it?
Haughwout.
That's Halfout. Huff out.
Exactly.
Now, according to local reports, Connecticut police say no state laws were broken here. Now, the FAA says they will investigate the operation to determine if any federal aviation regulations were violated. Now, Austin's father says he's a mechanical engineering student. He builds all kinds of different things. He adds that the proper name for this is an RC quadcopter. The media keeps using the inappropriate word drone.
Oh, well, go pick
because
a
it
different...
helps you to generate fear.
Well, go pick a different fight, dude. You have a
what he's
freaking
saying.
gun
on a quadcopter, yeah.
I used to weaponize my BMX bike.
Put a freaking shotgun on the front.
No, I used to put
Machine gun?
I used to put bottle rockets like in the
I
spokes.
feel like everyone
and
did
I'd
that.
drive around like that and be like, light it. And it was, I don't know how I didn't kill anybody.
God.
That was weaponized though.
Roman candle on the front.
Exactly.
Shooting everyone. But if you guys haven't seen the viral video, then you can check it out over on the website. Thing's got like 3 million views.
You can go to fronosphoto.com/RAWtalk, episode number 143. I just... What is... I get you're an engineer. Like, maybe you should have put a paintball gun on it.
Maybe you shouldn't have posted the video on YouTube. If you're going to build something
what
like
kind
that.
of gun was it?
It looks
It was
like
just
a
a
Glock.
handgun. Yeah, like a...
It was
that.
one of those. That's exactly what it was.
Can he send me one to my neighborhood?
I
Because
kind of
you-
wish instead of him putting it like that, if he just sort of turned a little bit, had it
that's
like that on the
gangster style.
quadcopter.
Oh, you just hit something right there.
What?
No, that is good. No, I mean this is
Gangster
how
quadcopter.
This is how the white guy holds it, and this is how the gangster holds it. And who's more accurate? Spray and pray. I missed. But why would you? I mean, I get why you would do it. It's just like just bad.
The professor's like, build me an experiment. Build me something new that no one's ever done
Yeah,
before.
bring this
Let
to
me
school.
build you this.
And it would fire. The gun would
It
Yeah,
fire.
fired.
remotely
And-
fired.
And what
So you-
happens? The drone would kick back.
Yeah. So it'd be flying and it'd be like, poof, poof, and it would
But it
still
would
be
stabilize
flying. It would still
itself.
be stabilized, yeah. Pretty crazy.
Yep.
A California wildfire crossed the freeway this past week and
Like
set
John
a few,
Mayer?
It set a few cars on fire that were in the way. Now, authorities are saying firefighters could have done more to save the cars and surrounding homes, but multiple drones got in the way of their firefighting operations. Now, at least 5 drones were spotted over the fire, which caused all 5 firefighting air units to return to the airport and not put out the flames. Now, 2 of the drones even chased the air units, which ended up delaying the firefighters even more. Yeah, right? The fire resulted in more than a dozen cars being destroyed, along with 5 homes, which officials say could have been saved if these drones weren't in the way. Now, John Miller of the U.S. Forest Service says, in quotes,
What's he say?
drones can kill our firefighters in the air. They can strike one of these things, and one of our aircraft could go down, killing the firefighters in the air. This is serious to us. It is a serious, not only life-threatening, not only to our firefighters in the air, but when we look at the vehicles that were overrun by fire, it was definitely a life safety threat to the motorists.
John Miller here for the Firefighters Association of America.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Only you can prevent forest fires from ever happening. But I have another PSA, that stands for Public Safety Announcement, for you regarding forest fires or fires in general. If there's a fire, don't fly your drone. We will shoot it out of the sky with a flying drone of our own made by this kid who can shoot at your flying zone. So you don't mess with us. If you mess with us, we're going to shoot your drone out of the sky. Thank you. That's been a PSA brought to you by Firefighters Association of America.
It's going to be like that South Park episode. That's what it's going to come down to. Drones versus drones. Now, to add to that, the U.S. Forest Service later put out a poster that warns drone pilots to stay out of the air during wildfires.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they released a poster to schools just like Smokey the Bear back in the day and be like,
Only you can prevent
no,
drone
what was the
strikes.
guy? Clifford take a bite out of crime? No, Clifford was the
the
red
crime
dog.
The crime dog.
Crime dog, right?
I forget.
McGruff.
I think it was, yeah.
McGruff?
Something like that.
you can take a bite out of crime.
And did you know that McGruff, the crime dog, was actually arrested for smoking weed, I think?
The guy that does the voice?
I think so. It's just like the dude you're getting Adele. It should have been, you know what that dude you're getting Adele thing back in the day? Dell was at the peak of their existence and selling a ton of computers to college kids.
They were like
Are
the
you
top
kidding
brand,
me?
weren't they?
So what if the guy smoked weed? At that point, it'd be like, dude, look at him. He's playing a stoner in your commercials going like, dude, you're getting Adele. I'm like, of course you're getting Adele, because then it comes, it has a special pouch in the back.
I'm getting Adele in a quarter ounce as well. Thank you.
If you put the weed, there's like a compartment in the back of the old Dells. If you didn't know this, from 97, more in the early 2000s, there's a compartment by the fan, the power supply, that you drop a little, like a nugget in there, all right? And it heats it up, and as it spins out, it kind of vaporizes it for you. Yeah, look for a 2007 model. It's called the Dell Bongo Edition.
All Dell laptops come prepackaged with a pound of weed. No, but they have that poster, and the poster reads, "If you fly, we can't." But you guys can see the poster on the
original.
website, along with a local news report on the whole ordeal.
I love, my favorite news reports are like, "Hello, this is John Sweeney here, reporting for News 10, live from the fire. We have an exclusive interview with a drone flyer who's flying it right now. Sir, why are you flying a drone?"
Because I can, and I have a gun on it, and I will shoot you down if I want.
Don't you think that this would be a bad idea? Because we see they're trying to put out this fire, but forget the fire. We want to just talk to you. Let the burn the roof. The roof's on fire. The roof is on fire.
But I need to get my amazing video and put it up on my YouTube channel.
We don't need no water. Let that burn.
Burn, mother trucker.
Burn.
Now, with that being said, lawmakers are taking action to deal with this problem. An upcoming California bill aims to give firefighters permission to knock camera drones out of the sky in order to safely do their
own
job.
Drones?
Well, I think they're trying to do some scrambler kind of thing, frequency scrambler, so they can just knock out the signal.
Like a ray gun.
Now, Senator Ted Gaines announced that he will be introducing a new bill,
Hi.
Senate Bill 168.
I'm Senator Ted Gaines, and I want to introduce to you Senate Bill 168. And I think that I am running for governor, and I think that you should vote for me, and I support this message. And if you believe in something, I believe in it also. And if you don't, I don't. I'm equal opportunity.
Now, the bill will help protect firefighters from camera drones, obviously. Gaines says that it grants immunity to any emergency responder who damages an unmanned aircraft in the course of firefighting, air ambulance, or search and rescue operations. He says this bill will help make sure the skies are clear of drones and that the brave men and women fighting these fires can do their job of protecting the public without worrying about frivolous lawsuits.
Okay. Is that it?
They also proposed one other bill, very similar, SB 167, that introduces harsher punishments for drone users that are caught interfering with firefighting efforts, penalties such as a fine of up to $5,000 and 6 months in jail.
And seizure of your drone.
He says private drones don't belong around these emergencies. That is the first message I want to get out. But if one gets damaged or destroyed because it's in the way, then that can't lead to financial penalty for the people trying to save lives and property. And he adds that it's unfortunate, but that's all it is. People can replace drones, but we can't replace a life.
You can replace cars also that burn. But
yes.
So here's the thing. Are there newscopters around? Is what's happening here is that the drones are getting too close to interfering, where the newscopters are further away and professional and share the airspace, and they talk because they're regulated.
Yep.
Look, if you have a drone and there's a fire going on, stay out of the sky. Just use common sense. We don't need your footage. Now, this is going to... At what point do drones become... You know what's funny?
What?
In 2015, in a movie from 1980-something, Back to the Future 2, in 2015, when they go to the future, and Griff, the son, the grandson, chases Michael J. Fox into the water and on that beast thing, and then they break the glass at the clock tower, and then the drone shows up and takes their picture, and it instantly shows up on the USA Today.
Yeah, right away.
Holy Jesus, I think they predicted the future.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you can't forget about it. Anyway, look, the moral of the story here is if there's a fire going on, just use common sense, please. Your footage isn't needed. And then what I was going to say is that we're getting to the point where news organizations are going to start buying footage from drones because it's cheaper than using a helicopter.
That's the thing, yep.
And where's the rub going to be?
Like paparazzis.
You're going to have everyone trying to just fly a drone up and get the footage and sell it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next up, after a recent firmware update, the Red, Epic, and Scarlet now have a still photo mode. The sensor offers 16.5 stops of dynamic range at nearly 20 megapixels.
Which is quite a lot of dynamic
16
range.
stops, that's insane.
At 20 megapixels?
Yeah, Red says 6K 3:2 resolution translates to over 19 megapixels, packing the same detail you expect from your DSLR into a cinema camera. Now, when you can capture up to 100 frames per second at full resolution, you get 100 chances per second to capture the perfect picture. Every still is RAW and Adobe Photoshop compatible.
And if you suck, you still suck and miss it.
Now, in the newly updated S mode, when you press the camera's record button, it will capture a single or multiple frame rather than capturing video. And one of the main issues here is that they do not offer flash triggers, so you can only use continuous light for your subjects. Now, Annie Leibovitz did a shoot with one for Vanity Fair, and there's an awesome, super detailed 16-second behind-the-scenes video of it in action, which really doesn't showcase it at all. It just showcases the subject, Tina Fey, getting photographed.
Here she is.
The biggest news of the universe and all the galaxies.
We're not actually talking about Annie in that way. Just the fact that they put out
It's more Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair puts out these behind-the-scenes videos that are literally 30 seconds or less.
This is
every
16,
time.
though. That's insane. Now, there's also a video from Red, a proper video demonstrating the new mode and how to get into the still menu and options.
How's it look?
Which is really in-depth, posted over on the website.
Does it look good, though?
If shot on a Red, it looks good,
I
yeah.
mean, the photos, the video, I mean, the stills are good.
They just showcased like the menu and how to operate still mode. They didn't actually show you a still from it.
So here's the thing. A couple years ago, F-Stoppers and Peter Hurley did a video where they took a Red camera and his Hasselblad, and they did a shoot. And so what happened, you may be able to go back and find it. Peter was able to tell the difference at the time between the Red final print and the other print, but most people wouldn't be able to. And at the time, it was a 14 megapixel still.
And that was a still from the video, correct? Or was it actual just a still?
It was a still from the
frame,
Red, from the RAW file.
Gotcha.
Because you just freeze it.
Yeah.
What he liked about it was that he could sit there and talk to them, which is what he does, which brings out the smiles and the looks and the smizels or whatever
just
the hell he calls it.
constantly rolling.
And so that when he's tapping frame by frame, he's like, bam, 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 oh, there it is. And then he could go out and have that color corrected and done. Like, that makes sense when you know what you're doing. I don't think it's going to replace photographers. Again, you got to remember, the Red, if you're looking at this, the frame is this obscure looking angle. It's not always 16 by 9, or even if it's 16 by 9, it's not a full frame.
They said the stills are 3:2.
Right. So verticals are going to be weird looking.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
Well, I don't even think you're going to
you'd have
do
to switch
verticals.
Right. So
Unless you're hand holding it, but that'd be weird.
I'm not ripping it in any way. It's progress. I think it's
yeah.
unbelievable that they can do that. And where it may come in handy for them is if for people who are doing commercial shoots or movies need movie stills. Is it going to put the photographer out of business because now they can just pull actual stills?
Yeah.
If it is, then so be it. It's like robots taking over human jobs.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's progress.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got the camera set and you're lit for a specific scene and you've got like the money shot that
you've got the framing
that
right
interprets
there.
the whole movie,
Yeah.
and you want that for a poster, and you're lit, and you can just snap a couple shots off. I mean, especially for an indie filmmaker, that's very valuable.
Right, because you don't want to deal with like me running around and they're like, okay. Actually, I've never really done an official movie shoot. I've always done candids behind the set.
Yeah.
And I've seen that the real people, they literally walk through a scene and have them in front of the camera or where the camera was to get the same angle,
yeah.
and to get really cool shots.
Because they want the same shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what did Hurley point out that was different about the Red frame?
Well, just it was
versus
quality wise at the time.
It was just the quality. It wasn't like a blur or anything like that.
No. It was just quality wise, and he liked what it was doing. It's going to get there in the future or present now.
NASA has captured a photo of the Earth with a camera that's 1 million miles away for the first time.
How many?
1 million miles away. Now, their new Deep Space Climate Observatory satellite, Discover, shot the image with its Earth Polychromatic Imaging Camera, or EPIC, they call it.
Oh.
The EPIC has a black and white 4-megapixel CCD sensor and an 11.8-inch telescope lens.
Well, how do they color it?
They apparently have different filters in front of it, and they take 10 different frames and then pretty much stack them and adjust it from there. Now, NASA says the color images of Earth from NASA's EPIC are generated, here's your answer right here, by combining 3 separate images to create a photographic quality image. The camera takes a series of 10 images using different narrow band filters from ultraviolet to near infrared to produce a variety of science products. Now, the red, green, and blue channel images are then used in these Earth images. The crazy part is that every picture captured by Discover actually shows what happened on Earth 5 seconds in the past, because that's how long it takes for light to travel from Earth to the camera.
Oh my God.
Mind blown.
I'm so fascinated by every aspect of this.
It's crazy.
Like, the fact that, again, you can put something into space, it can transmit stuff back, it can be 1 million miles away, it could be 3 billion miles away. In the case of last week's story about Pluto,
Yep.
I just want to listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson speak. I really just
In
want to go
person?
see him speak. Well, he does his podcast, which now became a TV show, RAWtalk. Went from a podcast to a really show, and he did Cosmos.
Well, you know what's great is the planetarium at the Franklin Institute.
Is it great?
It's great because he narrates the whole thing. And you're sitting back and you're looking up at the
I
sky.
haven't done it in
you almost want to
years.
fall asleep because his voice is just so soothing.
And it's right next to the trains.
Yeah, yeah.
And I used to love the
That
trains
section's
as a
great.
kid. Maybe we should do a Frono's Photo Day at the Franklin Institute.
should.
And just go observe the star. What, Todd?
I'd like to spend the least amount of time with you guys.
You want to bring your daughter?
Not around you.
That sounds terrible. Now, for reference, the iconic blue marble photo that was captured by the crew of the Apollo 17
Who owns those
in
photos?
1972.
Does the photographer own it because they took
I
it?
own them.
I'm sure NASA owns it, and that means
No, the
public
government
owns it, right?
which means we all own
That's
it.
what I mean.
Yes.
Now, that was just 28,000 miles away.
Obama owns
Wow.
them.
A fraction of this 1 million mile away photograph.
Wow.
And then once all systems are up and running, Discover will be taking photos of Earth every 2 hours. Starting in September of 2015, the photos will be regularly posted to an online gallery dedicated to the shots. And as always, you guys can download the full image, like we just talked about, full res glory for free. Posted a link over on the website because we all own the image.
FronosPhoto.com/rawtalk-143.
Rhinos are being equipped with camera implants in their horns now to help catch poachers. The new system, called Real-Time Anti-Poaching Intelligence Device, aka RAPID.
We caught one. We just killed it, but we caught one.
Crikey.
It includes the camera implant, GPS tagging, and heart rate monitors. Here's how it works. The rhino has the gear embedded in its skin and horn, which they say doesn't cause any pain or harm to the animal. Now, if a rhino...
Oh, that's an elephant.
If a rhino is ever chased and attacked by poachers, its rapidly changing heart rate will alert operators at a control center, who then turn on the camera and record it pretty much. Park authorities can then be sent to the animal's aid in a matter of minutes using the transmitted GPS coordinates.
Gets awful hot in those rhinos, though.
It is a good plan. Now, an estimated 1,200 plus rhinos were killed by poachers in South Africa just last year, which is about 1 killing every 8 hours. So that's
Jeez.
a big deal over
Unbelievable.
there, yeah. There's a point of view video, though, from the RAPID camera attached to the rhino that's over on the site. It's posted on YouTube. It's just a point of view of the rhino running around and eating with his horn down the front.
Do they
pretty
have them
funny.
having rhino
Is there-
sex?
Oh, God.
Is there any type of, like,
Because your heart
POV
rate must
porn?
go up for that, right? The heart rate must go up.
All right, so here we go. It's a new tourism
We've
attraction.
got a poacher. Nope. They're having sex.
They're having wait, nope. The penile bone. Do you know they have penile bones?
Really?
They're bones, like penis bones.
God.
Discovery Channel.
I'm sure you
National
watch that all the
Geographic
time,
Channel.
right?
I
Is that
lo-
what you look up,
Dude,
when I'm not here?
this
Rhino POV porn.
I was watching this thing about elephants once, and I'm like, why is it just peeing? What is that? Wait, what is that? Why is it giving birth? And they're like, no, that's a male, and that's its penis flopping around.
God. Forever 21 is recreating your Instagram images with spools of thread.
good.
Todd's
for free.
favorite store to
My
hang out
favorite
at.
store.
Todd, what happens when you hang outside of Forever 21?
I get arrested.
Where's the cop when you need him?
No, I swear to God, officer, my daughter's in there buying jeggings. I swear, I'm waiting for the jeggings.
Oh, God. But they're doing this with spools of thread for free on their new interactive billboard.
I don't get it.
So the prototype agency Breakfast, that's the name of the company, they've created a new type of billboard made entirely of spools of thread, 6,400 to be exact. Now there's 200 modules, which each make up about 32 spools each. Each spool is then wrapped with fabric containing 36 colors and can mechanically recreate any image sent to the billboard's processor. This is incredibly hard to explain.
So why'd you pick it?
Because it's an awesome story.
It sounds good.
But to save you guys from any more confusion, I think you should just go to the website, read about it, and check out the video, and it'll make much more sense.
You're a dick. You're making us go to the website to see it? Why don't you just post it right here, man, for the people that listen to the audio only?
It's basically a giant billboard.
I get it now.
Okay, that has a processor attached to it. These spools of thread that change colors, and Instagram, if you hashtag a certain thing, F21 thread screen.
Todd, your penis does
gets
not count.
Sent to the processor, which then pulls the image up in 5-bit quality, and it makes the image via these spools.
So there's a video of this.
Yeah,
We
it's
can
hard
see
to
it.
explain, but
I already
you just
have
have to
dick
watch
pics
it.
with my junk wrapped in thread.
There's a whole
tightly.
behind-the-scenes video of how they got started,
All
how
right.
it came
So
about.
it sounds interesting.
It is interesting.
Good
You just
job.
have to watch
Sounds terrible,
it. Just watch it.
but thank you.
Introducing the E1, the world's smallest Micro Four Thirds 4K camera. Z Camera, the Vegas startup company behind it, unveiled the tiny but powerful camera via a new Kickstarter campaign. Now, spec-wise, it's the size of a GoPro, but offers the interchangeable lens option of a mirrorless camera. The 16-megapixel sensor can shoot raw DNG and JPEG stills, 4K at 24 frames per second, ultra-high-def video, which is 3840 by 2160 resolution at 30 frames per second, or 1080 at 60 frames. Now, they say 120 is coming soon at 720p. It's in the works.
What lenses mounts?
I'll get to that in a minute because there is certain brands that it mounts. Now, the company says it has incredible low light performance and can shoot at 102,400 ISO.
Can you mount it to a Rhino?
while maintaining good image quality thanks to 3D noise filtering technologies, but they recommend not going higher than
Can I
6,400.
attach a gun to
They're
it?
native.
Can I attach a gun to it?
Now it has a remote companion app just like the GoPro for both iOS and Android. Other features include Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, takes micro SD card, continuous autofocus in both photo and video mode. Only has a 45-minute battery life for 4K
wait.
recording though.
What is the price?
The price is $699 it'll be when it goes for sale officially. But early adopters can get it for $449 if they contribute to the campaign, which bundles it with a 14mm f2.5 Panasonic lens.
What, did it Kickstarter?
Yeah, that's what I brought up in the beginning.
You
It'll
did?
start shipping. Yeah, I said it's a Kickstarter
missed it?
campaign. Yep. It'll start shipping in December of 2015. It's already surpassed its goal of $42,000 and has raised over $222,000 at the time of this recording. And you can watch the Kickstarter video over on the website. It's got sample footage. The low light is pretty incredible for such a tiny camera. It'll kill the GoPro in low light. But another thing I wanted to bring up, it'll pair with a wide range of autofocus lenses available from brands such as Olympus, Panasonic, Leica, and Sigma. And they're also working on a waterproof housing for it.
Oh, that's cool.
It is a really cool, I mean, it's probably about the size of your palm, so I would say it's very similar to the GoPro. What?
Just looking at my palm, I'm trying to picture it.
Are they hairy, Todd? Or is it the other one?
They're kind of sweaty.
But if you were to take the session and pretty much double it side by side, that's about how thick and big it is.
Okay.
Just like
So there's
Todd's.
a lot of girth
You
to
know.
it.
All right, next.
Let's see. Taylor Swift's photo contract has been updated to be more photographer friendly. Now, the revised copy addresses concerns that were raised in her previous contract, which we talked about a few weeks back. Mickey Allstreicher, General Counsel of the MPPA, the National Press Photographers Association, helped draft the new photo release. It's designed to address photographers and publishers' concerns while still being satisfactory to Swift's representatives. Now, the new contract says that photographers who violate the agreement may be asked to delete those images rather than saying
We'll
Taylor's
beat
crew.
the shit out of you and
Exactly.
break your camera and your legs, and we will Nancy Kerrigan you. I mean, we will hit you with
Ow.
an iron bar.
Or the
Ow.
official wording is may confiscate and or destroy the technology or devices that contain the photos. Now, photographers and publications will also be allowed to publish photos more than once, as long as it's for news or editorial purposes and not for commercial usage. Allstreicher says, in quotes, Miss Swift should be commended for showing by example her concern not only for the rights of musicians, but for the rights of the photographers and organizations that cover her concerts. He adds that after taking the time to hear our concerns regarding her World Photography Tour Guidelines Agreement, the news and professional associations and Taylor's team are very pleased to have been able to work together for a revised agreement that is fair to everyone involved.
They just softened some of the terms.
Pretty much.
It doesn't really seem
Reworded
like
it a little bit. it.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, that's the whole point when you have a contract.
Yeah.
Is that if it's strictly the reason people are up in arms? Well, one, let me just say I'm getting a little over with all of the constant day after day. This band is doing this with their contract, and this band is doing this with their contract. It's getting old right now. It really is. Will it change? Who knows?
And it's been around. It's just now it's really in the limelight.
The funny thing is a lot of these contracts go back 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And they just so happen to be being put out now.
Social
And
media.
The world has changed when it comes to everything. And a lot of what happens in the music industry today is that the old school ways are hard for them to change.
Oh, yeah.
We obviously know that the music industry is in the crapper. They've been in the crapper for a long time because they didn't evolve and they didn't change when technology took it another direction. So it's hard to get the old school mentality of we want to control every single aspect of a musician or band's career and image, and we don't want anybody doing anything that's going to hurt that, or we don't want anybody that's going to do anything not just to hurt it, but that's going to do anything. They want to control the message. But you can no longer control the message in 2015. People are going to take pictures at the show. People are going to make videos at the show. People are going to go around whatever you have. And, so you're not approving...
Rhino cam.
You're not approving, professionals. So now you're getting stuck with these subpar photos being put out that may look even worse. So it's just like, we all need to work together. It's a can't we all just get along moment.
Yeah.
And just evolve to be mutually beneficial.
You're still always going to have that one person that ruins it for everyone.
You will.
Like
and
Steven.
Like
but
the
you
Rhino.
can't worry about the minority when the majority is good.
Yeah.
You can't worry about building something based off of the haters or the people that are going to be the ones that are going to steal something when the majority of the people aren't going to.
But they still have to protect themselves for that one
And
person.
they still need to protect themselves. Pulling back on the contract, it's great on her to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
It would be nice
and
if
to team up with the MPPA.
Right. The contract, honestly, when you read it, didn't change very much.
Like 2 lines changed.
The only thing
pretty
that
much.
I don't recall was the original one, if it had a rights grab or if it didn't.
I don't believe this one did.
But it still only allows you to use the image for the publication.
News
right?
and editorial, it said.
Right. What, twice?
But it just said for non-commercial use or for not for commercial use. So I don't know if that means can I post it anywhere?
No, see,
Or
this
does
is
it just have to be in a
This is where the
publication?
photographers take creative license on themselves. If you are shooting for an organization, you are shooting for them. If you're getting paid, yes, you may have the ability to use those images personally, but in a case like this, it's referring to the ability to use it for that publication. That means your portfolio doesn't count. With that said, they're probably never going to hunt you down and say anything. But just because it's in a contract doesn't mean that they're going to uphold it or go after you for it, but it's still there and you still need to be careful. So with that being said, an update on last week's episode is definitely nice to have.
Yeah.
There was a lot of feedback. There was positive feedback. There was negative feedback. There's all types of feedback.
Especially on Tab.
Not just that, but with the whole, what I did when it came to shooting the show
Yeah.
and telling my story. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, I told my story because I'm all about sharing as much information with everybody at home as possible.
You're the most transparent person I know, I think.
Well, it's about being transparent.
It is.
Because I am here to share information to help photographers. And of course, I do want to help myself. You can never forget to help yourself.
Of course.
But I'm also there to relay my message. And we were having this discussion earlier. It's a tough situation that I am in today. I am a photographer, first and foremost, from going way back till I was 13. But that's evolved because now I am an online personality or quasi-celebrity type online in the online world that people look to for photo information. So I wear a couple of hats now where it's not like I make a full-time living off of being a still photographer. I get paid to shoot stuff and I make money, but I do generate a lot of income off the website. The majority of it comes from here. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's that I just have to be careful in situations these days that I'm going to go and talk about what I do within reason, being respectful of whoever it is that I'm photographing, and share that with the world. And sometimes the managements or other people they're not happy
tell
with
the
that
story.
because they can't control that.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever it is, I probably won't be able to share the images at any point. Which it is what it is. There was a discussion there, and I think the moral of the story is that we know what I said last week about getting paid. I was getting paid, signed the contract. You can like that, you can not like that, you can call me a sellout, you can call me a shill, you can call me whatever. A lot of people were very positive and understood when you're getting paid for a job that you're doing it, that you did it.
Work for hire.
I look at it as another thing, that in my stance in the community, and we can acknowledge that there is a pretty large reach in the photo world, that if I say something, it's possible that change can happen. And there's other people in the community that do that as well. It's just that because of the absolute awareness that's there. So part of that is I have the ability, whether you like that I signed it or you didn't, that part of doing it was that it gets me close to people that can make the change if you're not happy with whatever contract that they have. And so part of the thinking is, I'm a photographer and I want to shoot. The other part is like, what if I get close enough and they ask me about this photo stuff? Do I give them my opinion? It's a possibility that can happen. So I'm thinking about you guys at home when I am out on the... Look, I take everything extremely seriously serious. I'm very passionate about what I do, and I personally get affected by certain things because I care about what I'm doing. I care about the information that I put out there. So when I'm back there doing what I'm doing, and that means I'm creating a conversation. The conversation has been created, obviously, because of that video and because of the other newspapers and outlets and everybody at home that's choosing to bring awareness to it, whether people have shot the show or haven't shot the show. This could have been the catalyst, this video, and what other people are doing to possibly making change in whatever contract they have. I don't expect that it's going to change, but it's possible at this point that maybe the band wasn't fully aware and they don't want to be seen bad. Like Taylor Swift doesn't want to be seen as a bad person.
Of course not.
And so they acknowledged it and they worked to make a change. Maybe that will happen in this situation.
And as usual, I feel like half of the time the bands aren't even aware of the contracts.
A lot of times they aren't, and we don't know. We don't know in this
stuff.
situation whether they were or they weren't.
Yeah.
But at this point, we now know that they are aware of what's going on, partly because of this video, and partly because of all of the other newspapers putting out their characterists, the cartoonists, and going against shooting the show.
Washington City Post. Yep.
So putting that all together is. It may have created change all across the board, adding together the cumulative value of the newspapers, the publications, the public, the video that I made may have been part of the catalyst to spark it to maybe make a change, and only time will tell
Hopefully.
if that happens.
Yeah.
So only time will tell in this case. We'll see. It's just
We'll end it like that.
But it is a fine line to walk at all points.
Always.
Because
Always.
unfortunately, I probably won't ever encounter or shoot them again, and won't get to share the images. But if change comes from all of the things that happen,
Other people may be able to.
then it may help in the future.
Yeah.
Also, people need to remember, with whatever contracts you're getting into, you have to look at both sides of the coin. It's not all about you as the photographer getting everything you want. The bands are trying to protect their image, which is understandable. Now, if things become mutually beneficial, I can see that, you're shooting for somebody direct. Like yesterday, I'm texting with Gavin DeGraw. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a rapport now because I've shot him personally before.
A couple times, right?
And he came to, not that type of, not that shot.
Oh, that was the wrong sound.
Right.
With a quadcopter.
We've worked together, and because we were out shooting in the sun for 5 hours yesterday,
Yep,
I
baking
didn't
away.
end up going to shoot the concert.
And you did initially plan on shooting the concert, correct?
I did initially plan on wanting to do it, and I didn't get a call until about 4:30 to say, hey, would you like to come down? And I would have liked to, but we spent all that time in the sun. I wasn't feeling that great. I didn't sleep much the night before. But the point is that when I work with artists on the inside, I haven't shot a lot of shows because I got tired of the rules, tired of the 3 songs and out, tired of the no access. I've found my way in with certain bands by asking for access and offering a trade. And it has to be mutually beneficial. I will flat out tell you what I do with bands. Should I flat out tell the people what I do with the bands? Is that bad?
Is it what you do backstage?
No. No, I mean, here's the transparency. This and I guess I've said it in the past. It's how I got the Modest Yahoo, how I work with people. I have something to offer.
Cocaine.
Not cocaine. I have a following. I have readers. I have the ability to have people learn about new artists and sometimes old artists.
I have a bigger following than you.
Sometimes.
My Twitter account is so much
Have you
bigger
seen
than
all
yours.
my Facebook
Have
likes?
you seen my Instagram followers?
I'm being serious, and now I'm getting my balls busted, which is fine. So with the thing with Gavin, I reached out at the beginning. They put me in contact with the management, and I flat out said to management, the word dictated doesn't mean strong right here, but I dictated what I would like. I said, here's what I will do. If you would like me to shoot, I need all access. I can use the images for my website, and I will give you unlimited usage online for the images that I capture.
My way or the highway.
2 strippers backstage too. Add that.
And beyond that, if you would like to purchase images for something else, we can work out a price structure, which they asked what the price structure would be, and I laid that together for them before we shot. And that is mutually, that's beneficial. Not everybody, not a beginner, isn't going to be able to get that access just because you don't have the cachet in the past of the work that shows that you can do it. You can work towards that, but when you have something offer that is mutually beneficial, then it works together. I just felt like saying that. That is that. Do we need to do end of news?
We do. I guess that's officially the end of news.
That's the end of news.
Yeah, all right.
Should we do what is some good
I don't. Should we just do like
inquisitive
Firefighter music.
Firefighter music?
How about epic music? Epic firefighter music. If you were running out of like the blazing
Oh,
fire.
okay. Slow
If you
motion.
had a drone in a fire
With
with a gun on it.
All right, here we go.
And a rhino too.
This
And a
music,
rhino.
as always, all the music not all the music, but yes, the music that you hear at the beginning of Photo News and the end of Photo News is all from AudioBlocks. Check out audioblocks.com/go/fro to check it out for yourself. And let's do that epically running drone shot from a fire while shooting a gun off of the drone now. Okay.
Epic.
All right. Now that that's out of the way,
Excuse me.
stop interrupting.
Oh,
Please, Steven, stop interrupting.
it's my birthday. I can do what
We
I
had
want.
enough comments about you last week.
It's not your birthday yet. So now it's time to get to the interview portion.
Yes.
We interviewed my eye doctor a couple of weeks ago. We went to his office. We sat there. We set up. We went on location to Will's Eye Hospital to interview Dr. Koller. Like I said at the beginning, he is one of the best eye doctors in the world. He doesn't do surgery any longer. He's getting up there in age. But the wealth of knowledge that he has...
He's still up there, though.
He didn't dumb it down for us.
Not at all. I didn't understand what he was saying half the time, to be honest.
I, on the other hand, tried to take what he was saying and relate it back to photography.
Oh, yes.
Which you know, here, look at my eye, people.
You can't see.
What's wrong with his
No, you see it
eyes?
shaking?
I don't
What
get
is
it.
wrong with your eyes?
Stop twitching.
Okay, you see that? That is a nystagmus, and we
Gesundheit.
discussed that as
We've
how
discussed that many times.
as how we don't how I can't focus the light.
You can't see.
And so he goes on and explains this in more detail. But it's all about eye care, what to look for if you have certain issues. Why would you get your eyes checked? Like I think he talks about you see spots in your eyes, or you just see spots, or you have constant migraines. Well, you may have an eye condition. May have an eye issue, and the eyes control so much.
Oh, yeah.
So
especially in this industry.
so you have to take care of your eyes. One, because you want to see, but two, you need to know what the warning signs are to pay attention to in case you encounter them, so that you get your eyes checked. He tells us how often you should go to the eye doctor, and really awesome conversation. Let's get right to it. Let's go back out to Will's Eye Hospital to interview Dr. Koller. I was reviewing my chart, the one that's from 1983, right? I was 2 years old when I first started to see
28
it.
months.
28 months. It's I saw a letter my mom wrote. That was more when I was going to start driving, because she had you write a letter to the DMV people or something for my permit to show them that I can drive. The lights won't bother me.
Yeah.
But most people don't realize that I basically almost failed my eye exam for my permit, because I put my eye in the box, and the guy was like, I read the left side because I'm left eye dominant, and then he goes, the right side, and I said, what right side? and I had to hold my left eye shut in order to see the right side of the eye chart. It was pretty insane.
Yeah, you were suppressing the one eye.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
That's an interesting question. I finished my residency in 1968, went in the service for 2 years, did a fellowship afterwards. So I would say since 1971.
Wow, pretty long time. So what are you classified as with your doctor?
An ophthalmologist.
Specialist.
I have an MD degree and a number of other letters after my name because of other organizations that I've been certified with.
Right. So, when I first saw you, obviously I don't remember that, but my parents brought me in because was it more for the nystagmus, the shaking of the eyes?
Yes.
And what other things did I have wrong?
Well, your eye was turning in a little tiny bit, and you had a little bit of nearsightedness.
Right. And what was happening with my head?
Well, you were shaking it a little bit too.
Really? And I was like, what? I used to, my head would...
Well, yeah, and that goes along with the nystagmus. And initially, you didn't have what's called a null point, which is a position of the eyes where the nystagmus, which is unintentional wiggling or jiggling of the eyes involuntarily.
I can show the camera that. Yeah.
You just did that voluntarily.
Well, yeah.
But it's always exaggerated when you look to the side. But basically, the nystagmus, initially when I first saw you, there wasn't a position where nystagmus was less. And that is typical when you're younger. But then it goes through a few phases. And as the years went on, when you were 3, 4, and 5, you developed a 30-degree face turn to the left, because when looking to the left, as I'm doing now, your nystagmus was much less. So what we had to do at that time is take the horizontal eye muscles and move them in a position that would make your eyes more to the right, so that the null point, the point where the nystagmus is less, would be in the straight ahead position so that you wouldn't have a face turn anymore.
So you literally had to cut the muscles.
Well, we cut them off of where they were and moved them in such a position that the face turn would be eliminated.
And then that stopped the nystagmus from when I was looking straight on as well?
It didn't stop it entirely, but it improved it, and as it improved it, the vision improved, and the face turn became virtually gone. I looked through the chart, and it showed that there was a slight face turn that persisted, but it was much less than the 30 degrees that were present before surgery.
Right.
So nystagmus, such as what you were born with, is called motor nystagmus. And in many cases, it can't be entirely eliminated, but it certainly can be improved. And there's even an operation today that's being worked at the Wills Eye Hospital, where one just takes the muscles off of the eyeball and then puts them back where they were originally. And there's some evidence to show that that also decreases the wiggling of the eyes.
Is it like a reprogramming?
Sort of. That's not what happened with you, because you had a significant face turn. But that works in many cases where there isn't a compensatory face turn, and we're only concerned about the nystagmus and the vision level.
How risky of a surgery was it?
Well, what I tell patients before surgery, the answer to your question simply is not great. I tell patients that any eye muscle operation has the potential for causing bleeding and infection, decreased vision, loss of the eye, and loss of life. So when over...
That sounds good.
Yeah. So in over the 45 years that I've been practicing, nobody's ever lost their life. Nobody's lost their vision.
Knock on the wood.
Yeah. Nobody's had decreased vision, and occasionally an eye will get infected, but if it's treated promptly with appropriate antibiotics, they will get better.
Sure.
And bleeding would usually occur. This is a mainly, essentially, minimal or bloodless operation. But we have to watch out for people who are getting blood thinners, anticoagulated, or have a blood disease or hemophilia
Sure.
or some such condition, and they might have a little tiny bit of bleeding. But usually, if there's any bleeding, we usually either cauterize it or tie it off with a suture, and it doesn't amount to anything significant.
I remember seeing the inside of the OR. I got the gas mask in there. That was one of the scariest things in the history of, like, as a 5-year-old, they rolled me in. I remember they gave me the option. Do you want the needle or do you want the gas mask? My parents probably should have said, just give him the damn needle, so I didn't have to go through looking inside the OR, looking up and having a woman press this thing on my face until I was out in like 3 seconds.
But the secret is, after they gave you the mask, they did give you a needle.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
So they put you to sleep with the one
Yes.
and then hit you with the other.
So you wouldn't feel it, even though you were really intimidated by it.
And they wouldn't let me out of the OR until I flipped over, because remember, I'm being sensitive to light, and I remember they let me out without being on my back, which was, I guess you said that it's okay because of the way the eyes were.
Yes.
So, let's talk about general eye care for people.
Go ahead.
Like, what is the most important? The eyes are extremely important. What can a regular person, whether they're a photographer or not, do to make sure that their eyes are healthy?
Well, number one, get an eye examination by a ophthalmologist. That's an IMD, and that should be done periodically. We recommend, according to the guidelines of the American Academy of Pediatrics, that a child should have a comprehensive ophthalmologic evaluation by a pediatric ophthalmologist at the age of 3. Having passed puberty, and when you're an adult, an eye examination between the ages of, let's say, 18 and 40 should be done every 4 to 5 years. At the age of 40, one's eyes become a little bit less flexible, and those are the years that you need reading glasses for. That condition is called presbyopia. Most people can't avoid it. Lots of people who are nearsighted can read without glasses, and then they need their glasses to see far away. But if they had their far away glasses on, they would need either bifocals or a reading supplement. Recently at Wills, there's a new operation for people with presbyopia where there's a tiny little lens that's placed in a pocket in the cornea in one eye that can make it unnecessary to wear bifocals or reading glasses.
Really?
In selected patients. So the things in medicine and in ophthalmology are proceeding rapidly.
Yeah, what are some warning signs that if something happens, like what's like a warning sign that somebody would have to say you need to go to an eye doctor right now?
Well, any blurring of vision, that's number one. Often there's a complaint of seeing things in front of the eyes, which is in most cases called a vitreous floater. And if that's a normal aging phenomenon, although some young people, even in their teenage years, can experience a floater, which is a little line or a black spot in front of the eyes, but it's more common in nearsighted individuals. But as an older individual, if you see floaters and they begin to increase in frequency and in the abundance of the floaters, accompanied by lightning flashes, like a firefly at the side of the vision, that's a sign of the vitreous fluid in the back of the eye condensing and pulling on the retina. One should see an ophthalmologist immediately in that case, because a small percentage of patients who have floaters and flashes will ultimately develop a retinal detachment, which could lead to significant vision impairment. And that's especially true if one is nearsighted.
I've heard in the past, infants using flash photography is not the best thing to do. Is that a founded statement?
I don't think that that is something that one should worry about. In fact, if one takes a picture of an infant and sees that the red reflex in one eye is not there,
Yep.
that could be the indication of something significant. Anything from cancer of the eye and retina to a cataract or one other congenital birth defect of the eye. So sometimes taking a picture with a cell phone or even flash photography can be a diagnostic situation that could save a child's life and vision.
Yeah, I've seen that happen where they showed the picture of the kid's eye having a white reflection back instead of a red. So that's pretty interesting. So you talked about the surgery to basically put sort of bifocals into somebody's eyes. Do you think we'll ever get to a making the blind see, like a bionic eye, some way to get the light to talk to the brain?
My answer to that is yes. Really, if an optic nerve is damaged, getting the fibers of an optic nerve being put together to function again is something that's, in today's thought processes, improbable. However, they do have transplants that can be done with digital microprocessing that can help individuals that have been visually handicapped or even blind during their life. That helps process the visual cortex of the brain so that the patient recovers some vision. And that seems like it was impossible 50 years ago, but it's being done now at various centers throughout the United States.
So it should continue to get better.
It's going to evolve.
Wow.
So whether or not they can put all of the fibers in the appropriate orientation to the optic nerve in the future, I don't know that. But they have other means of processing visual function from the brain to the eye to allow a patient to see.
That's pretty. It's just insane to think about. I mean, even digital contacts at some point that have visual readouts on them, and maybe even the capability to take pictures. We're probably looking 50-ish years down the road.
Maybe not.
No?
Maybe 20 years or less, because the evolution of the science is progressing rapidly. But the other reason for children being examined at the age of 3 is to pick up other eye conditions, such as early cataracts or eyes that aren't straight, strabismus. Some children are born with eyes that are misaligned, but the eyes can be misaligned even in the child born with straight eyes after the age of 2 or 3. So ophthalmologists can pick up subtle changes that would allow adequate treatment and prevent vision loss.
So with me, was it ocular albinism?
That was the original diagnosis, that there was a lack of pigment in the eye. Now, there's all kinds of albinism. There's oculocutaneous albinism, which one sees in the typical albino individual, where there's no pigmentation. But you can have albinism affecting only the eye, and that's why your vision is not totally correctable at 20/20, because the eye pigment is a little bit less than it should be, and that's affecting the macula, which is the part of the eye in the back that has the best visual potential. And that's what caused the nystagmus to begin with.
Right, and I guess we talked about this before, where I didn't have a lot of pigment in the eye growing up, and that's the stuff that filters out the light, which allows me to not be as sensitive to light.
Right, and that's why you have the photophobia, which is light sensitivity. It all as a result of the ocular albinism.
You know, I told a cop that once. He's shining a flashlight in my eye at 2 a.m, going, why is your eye shaking, or why are you wincing? I'm like, because I'm photophobic. He's like, I'm like, I'm sensitive to light, so if you shine a light in my eye, you're going to get something from me. And that's
So what did he understand?
not really, but I mean, I wasn't, basically me talking and showing that I wasn't incapacitated gave him enough information to say, all right, go on your way.
It's very difficult, but people don't understand the mechanism of the nystagmus.
Right.
Because I'm talking to you right now and you're looking at me.
I can see it moving.
You can see the nystagmus.
Yeah.
And but the amplitude and the frequency is not great. Your eye is wiggling quite rapidly, but the excursion, the amount of width of the movement is minimal, and that's why your vision is as good as it is.
Well, it's gotten better. I mean, I was looking through the chart. It was like 2060 and 2080.
Before,
Yeah.
and now it's we got to, I think it was 2025, 2030.
I think we were around 2030, which is both eyes corrected.
Yes.
And last time we were here, we had that awesome discussion about why like a LASIK surgery wouldn't help me, or why it's not fully correctable. And you were telling me that because the eye moves, it doesn't allow the light to focus on the optic nerve.
Or on the fovea, the center of the macula that has the best number of cones, that has the best vision potential. So that's the reason. It excurs back and forth from the center point.
And so I was thinking, like with lenses, we have image stabilization built into these lenses, which counteract the movement. If there was a way to have glasses that did that, would that possibly correct my vision?
Potentially, but not being a physicist, and I can't really tell you how that would come about.
It would be interesting, though. It definitely would be interesting to see what would happen if we did that. How has the technology changed over the years to make your job easier or better?
Well, number one, with strabismus surgery, the spatulated suture needles and the type of suture made it less frequent, almost impossible for an allergic reaction from the surgery to occur. But as far as cataract surgery goes, the evolution of phacoemulsification, the ability to emulsify the lens through a small incision, and the implantation of an artificial lens in the eye after the cataract is removed, has really revolutionized ophthalmology. In fact, a graduate of Wills Eye Hospital, Charles Kelman, was the originator of the phacoemulsification concept. What's unbelievable is that every other specialty in medicine, from Charlie Kelman's small incision phacoemulsification procedure, has evolved into small incision surgery. General surgeons do it, orthopedic surgeons do it, neurosurgeons do it, OBGYN surgeons do it, and ophthalmology was the first specialty to innovate small incision surgery.
So how many future eye doctors have you helped? Because I know you've always had somebody else coming in to study and learn, because you help people understand or learn, basically.
Well, I can't. There has to be thousands, because I was active at Children's Hospital in Philadelphia, training the University of Pennsylvania residents. I've been active at the Wills Eye Hospital, training Wills and Jefferson residents, and also at St. Christopher's Hospital, training the residents from Drexel and Hahnemann. So over the years, it's thousands, and knowing the exact number, I can't tell you.
That's okay, but it's obviously been a huge impact to help people learn, because then discoveries happen.
And teaching, I love teaching, because it really keeps me up. Sometimes the students teach you more than you're teaching them, and that keeps you at the upper limits of capability in your field.
Sure. And I know I've seen some new technologies, literally with the iPhone, that a special lens on front of it, and you're able to take pictures of the inside of the eye.
Oh, absolutely. You can do retinal photography with a smartphone. And there's so many things. You can take photographs of your nystagmus or any strabismus, that's eyes that aren't straight, and smartphones have been revolutionary, even in helping people without sophisticated cameras within ophthalmology to document things.
Well, I guess that opens up the possibility that if you're in a third world country or you're at home, even if you take a third world country, for example, and you have somebody with that technology in a phone that they may not know everything that you know, but they could take the picture, send it all over the internet to get to a doctor like you to say, this is what's going on, here's what we can do.
Yeah, well, cyber medicine is increasing also. We can take photographs and then send them distally for other people to give second or third opinions on. And that's very, very relevant and very important.
Sure. So did you ever think that I would end up being, 1, a photographer, 2, a hockey official, and 3, a baseball umpire?
Well, you always had the capabilities. How they would evolve, the answer is no, not in those areas, but I knew you'd be a success.
Well, thank you. I was looking through the chart, and when I saw parents bringing their kids, it reminded me of my mom. Always brought me. She was the one that always brought me to the other office, for as long as I could remember. Take me out of school, bring me here, because we'd come like 11 o'clock on a Monday or a Tuesday because you could get in and it was easier. But I got to leave school and eyes dilated, and then maybe they would take me back to school. But no, we have an unbelievably long history, and I'm sure you've helped tens of thousands of kids over the years.
But you really have to find your niche in life, and doing pediatric ophthalmology has really been my niche in life. And to me, it's not even work.
Yeah.
I just go in and enjoy it.
So you don't do surgery any longer?
I gave surgery up 3 years ago because of 2 operations on my back and my spine. And leaning over 8 hours a day to do the surgery was really a strain on my back muscles. So I decided after 43 years of doing 300 cases a year, it was time to relax a little. So I've slightly slowed down, seeing patients 4 days a week. And basically I thought I would miss the surgery, but I've mentally adjusted to not missing it. Although I think about it, I've sort of become calm, and I made a good decision.
Sure. Yeah, no, and I remember my dad was telling me that after the surgery, I'm coming back. I came back for a checkup, and he said you were giddy stomping your feet, because I mean it's an exciting thing, because he said that you never moved the muscles that far before.
Oh, the operation you had was called a modified Kestenbaum operation, after Dr. Kestenbaum from New York, who devised it. And the muscles, in order for them to not revert back to significant nystagmus and face turn, had to be moved further back than you would typically do for a child whose eyes are just crossed in or out. So having a lot of confidence in the ability to do it, because I was trained in that area, I did it. But there's always trepidation, and you don't know how it's going to turn out. And I thank God that you turned out as well as you did.
I'm pretty thankful that you were able to do that, because who knows what would have happened if I didn't have that done, how bad my head would have turned and how that would have affected everyday life.
You can get neck arthritis from a face turn looking like that. And that's one of the reasons we do it.
Wow. It's great. Anything else you want to add for people at home? Just a general statement?
Well, one of the other things that's very, very common in this environment is eye allergies. And I think that's another indication for seeing an ophthalmologist. Children and adults whose eyes become red don't always have to have pure pink eye. It can be due to allergy. A red eye can even be due to a virus. The fever blister virus can be devastating and can cause a red eye. And a ophthalmologist, using some of the equipment in the office, is the expert who would be able to tell the difference between a bacterial red eye, a viral red eye, a fever blister, or something more serious like inflammation in the eye related to arthritis. All of them can cause a red eye. And light sensitivity, although in some cases there's no cause, light sensitivity is another reason for seeing an ophthalmologist. One of the most frequent causes people don't think of is people with migraine can have light sensitivity. They don't have to have ocular albinism, such as you, Jared. They can just have migraine and still be light sensitive. So anybody who's light sensitive or who has a red eye should enjoy the expertise of an ophthalmologist.
Cool. Dr. Koller, thank you very much for taking the time. Obviously, I appreciate what you did for me over the years, because I don't know that I'd be sitting here doing what I do if it wasn't for what you did for me.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, guys, so my eyes feel okay. I didn't have them checked while I was there, but I love technical talk because I like the game of trying to figure out what the terms actually mean and then asking questions.
I just remember resetting cameras and hearing huge, big words, and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Big word. Reset cameras.
Not paying attention.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yep.
I love Dr. Koller.
Yeah.
You should
Nice guy, really
My
nice
dad
guy.
relays the stories, and I think I probably said this in the interview, just at how excited he was after the surgery when he was doing my post-op checkup. Not coughing, Todd. Not that. But
Bend over. Let me check your eyes.
Cough on 3.
But doctor, my eyes are on my head.
But he was just really ecstatic that it worked, because my surgery, they moved the muscles further than they've ever moved them before in anybody else.
Wow.
So I'm special.
You have
But you're
no
still blind.
idea how special
I'm not
you are.
blind. I just don't see that well.
How
just
many
only see
fingers
a
am I
shape.
holding up?
Thank you, Todd.
You're welcome.
But really, look for the warning signs in your own eyes. Get your eyes checked as often as he said to have them checked. I go every year personally. I have insurance to cover it. You have insurance to cover it.
And I rarely go, and I need to really get on that. But I also don't have eyes
I know
like
your
you. but I
focus
still
suffers for it too.
You should go to You can go to Will's Eye.
Well, that's what I'm going to do.
Are you?
Yeah.
We'll see if Koller can take you. It's just he's really busy.
Yeah.
But you can see his understudies, because he said he's helped thousands upon thousands of students.
I just think it's time for me to get contacts. I mean, I've had glasses in the past, but
you like
they're definitely
contacts?
getting worse. I've never had them.
I hated contacts.
That's the thing I worry about.
You
But
need
you-
glasses and you don't wear them?
I only wear glasses when I was in class, or
Are
like
you
when I'm
nearsighted
driving
or
at night.
farsighted?
I'm nearsighted, so I can't see far.
You should get glasses or contacts.
Dude,
yeah,
you
it's
should-
not terrible. It's
Yeah,
not
but-
like the worst,
It'll
but
get
it's
worse,
definitely
though.
not
Yeah,
great.
because you're gonna
It's
strain
just
your eyes.
Getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
And what's awesome
Obviously
about
with
me is
age.
my eyes have gotten better as I've gotten older.
Really?
Yes.
Because you've gotten better prescriptions, or
No, because of the filtration. We talked about the pigment in
Oh,
the
yeah,
eyes,
yeah.
that they filter out light better. Now, it would be interesting if somebody does go ahead and makes a contraption that goes on front of my eyes that is an IS type or VR type lens that stabilizes and counterbalances the eye movement. So basically it would have like a Google Glass. Imagine that if it had a sensor in there, and it would watch my eye shift, and it would then
Change
shift
the
the
image at
optic
the
the
same time,
opposite
yeah.
way, so that the optic nerve could then get the focused light, and now I would be able to see better.
you'd be like in a movie the entire time, just cinematic footage everywhere.
It could
Can
be
it be
cool.
anamorphic?
Yes.
Awesome.
But so that's the thing, and I also just ordered new eyeglasses and new sunglasses.
Are
So
they
we're-
hipster? Are
No, they're the
hipster?
same exact
Big
frames
frames?
I'm wearing.
You didn't get the big ones?
I got the
Big
same.
giant ones. Get 80s frames.
I got the same exact frames I'm wearing. I'll use these as a
Boring.
backup. I got the Crizal lens that are digital,
Oh, the best lenses ever.
best lenses ever, digitally cut. It's got the sapphire coating.
Yes.
I wanted the best optics for my eyes. I use the best optics
Best
for my
glasses
lenses.
ever.
Goes along with your best photos.
I want to use the best optics for my glasses. And I ordered sunglasses. They're Maui Jims this time.
the prescription,
They're not
yeah.
owned by Luxottica. They're Maui Jims, and they're not Oakley's. And
I don't know these brands
They call
besides
them.
Oakley's.
They say that they're some of the sharpest optics that they make for sunglasses.
Just like your photos.
So,
Sharpest ever.
so that's why I ordered them.
sharp.
I will introduce. Let's get to gear of the week. So while we were out there at Independence Hall,
Yes.
doing work, you were trying out a new rig.
I was.
It's a Tilta
It's a Tilta rig. I'm not sure the exact name of it.
by ICANN.
By ICANN.
You can probably pop it up on the screen because I'll get Jeff to tell us what it was. But Todd, what's your favorite? Put it up on the.
Get it up on the table. Best part is his monitor hood that he made from cardboard.
My custom monitor hood that I literally made like 10
Right
minutes
before we
before
went
we
out.
left because I realized I couldn't see
Should
anything
I do this, or
outside.
is this stupid? I was like, no, you should absolutely do that.
Did it work?
It worked. I mean, I wish I would have gaffed it all around and had the bottom a little farther out, but it definitely worked for the most part. But it was so sunny out that even the reflections from like the ground were coming up into the monitor.
Well, so there's two
it was
things
still
here.
Tough.
We've got the Aperture monitor. It's a 7-inch monitor. They only sell for like $219.
Very affordable.
They're insane if you want a 7-inch monitor.
And it gives you the zebra, it gives you focus peaking, it gives you everything.
The screen does
Than a
not
normal
even come
monitor.
close to matching the Atomos by any stretch of the imagination. But for $219 to have a 17-inch screen, a 7-inch screen in front of your camera off to the
I have
side.
a 50-inch on my camera. It's crazy.
It could be good. So what did you think about this this cage?
I loved the rig. It has everything with it too. It's got the cage, the follow focus. It's got the articulating arm for the monitor or whatever you want to put on there. It's got a quick release plate. The follow focus is probably my favorite part because it has 2 hard stops built in. So basically, I can preset where I want to focus,
really?
and I can hard stop,
Wow.
hard stop, boom. So that's what was great about it is I would just go to macro to infinity and just go back and forth, and I would know when to stop.
All right, you can pull it off the counter right now, the table.
Now, if we could only get somebody that could pull focus.
Steven does a good job with that. It's Todd that doesn't
He's
do a
all
good job
right.
with that. So they gave us this after we went to CES. No, not to
NAB.
NAB. They gave us this to try out. We get a lot of gear sent to us
That we don't ask for.
that we don't ask for, and if we don't ask for it, don't expect that we're just going to all of a sudden have a ton of time to try it. But if you give us enough time
Yes.
to try something, we're going to find a use for it.
Yes.
And when we do use it, just like we have right here with the one-man crew, we find a use for things. We asked for that because we wanted that.
yeah.
You needed a new rig. We were looking at other companies, and they just sent this and a bunch of other things. They sent this freaking FreeWire thing that we used.
But you
that
love
we used.
that.
Well, I absolutely did love this.
Yeah.
And they got like 400,000 reach. So this is the point is, give us time, especially when we don't ask for something, to find a need and a use for it, and we will use it.
That's because we want to use it in the real world.
We don't just want to
course.
do
Yeah.
the cursory
Yeah.
overview and be like, let's just walk around the streets of Hong Kong taking crappy photos and be
I
like,
like to use things before we talk about them.
Oh, yeah, me
Some
too.
people don't like to do that.
what are you looking at me?
You can't see me looking at you, though, right?
I see you looking at me.
Oh.
No, you're right. I don't
know.
want to use anything, but then it makes more sense to use it.
does.
But
It does.
but I do use the things before we
You
go
do.
out and use it,
You
like
do.
the 11 to 24.
You've been really good with that lately.
well, yeah.
Now, to add to that Tilta rig,
Yeah.
the one thing I didn't like about it, and the reason I had to build the custom hood and everything, is because it's not offset, so it's directly parallel with the shoulder, and basically, I have to tilt my head to actually look at the screen, the LCD
Yeah.
screen, where my other rig is offset, so it's directly in front of my face, and I use this Zacuto loop to look at it,
Right.
look through it.
So that's
in
why they're
bright,
offset.
sunny, situations.
Which
where
would you prefer? To have it offset or have the monitor?
I think offset with the loop would be.
I wonder if they have an offset.
maybe they
little
have
better
an
for
offset
me because
piece
then
to
you
add
can
to it.
really see in the bright, sunny situations.
Right.
You can really get the exposure perfect, the tack sharp on focus, all that stuff.
Right. And the other thing with ICANN is they're like a middle of the road development. Like they don't have the most expensive stuff, and it's not always the cheapest. It's affordable in kits. Like that thing comes as an entire kit. I remember that from when we
Comes
were at
with
NAB.
Everything too.
So that's a thing. If you want to look at what they make, just know it's not the best of the best of the best with honors, and it's not the cheapest piece of crap in the world. It's affordable because
extremely affordable.
it's put at a
compared to the
price point. I think that was
competitors.
like $1,800 as a kit. It was $1,600 as a
full
kit.
kit.
It's a great entry level.
Oh yeah,
Right. It's an entry level that's going to work. You liked it, which means you're going to continue to use it.
Yeah, I think I will.
Let's get to what's in the box again.
So, what's in the box?
Borrow Lenses sent us the XC10, and we continue to use it. Now talk about your quick experience with it yesterday and why.
Okay, so we needed to go into the Liberty Bell to actually shoot the Liberty Bell yesterday.
Liberty Bell Pavilion.
Okay, the Liberty
which
Bell
for
Pavilion.
people that don't know, you have to go into the Liberty Bell Pavilion.
It's like going to an airport, pretty much.
It is. Now they scan your bags. They have security. But the great thing is the Liberty Bell is not behind glass.
Nope.
It's not like...
You can literally walk up to it
That's the
and touch
Liberty
it.
Bell.
you can't...
I mean,
you can't
you're
touch
obviously
it.
not allowed to, but if you wanted to, you
No,
could.
you can't. The last guy that did went up to it with a hammer and hit it.
Oh, that guy.
Remember that?
I'm not saying do that.
But thankfully that didn't
I
ruin it.
apologize for it, so... I think we're good now.
All right, go ahead, Steven.
So basically, I wanted to be a little stealthy in there. I didn't want to bring in my entire shoulder rig.
We didn't want to bring attention to the fact
exactly
that we were shooting.
filming. So this looks like I'm almost like a tourist, and I'm just shooting around, basically getting B-roll of you shooting.
You did have a douchey shirt on yesterday, so that worked.
Let me add to this. We were shooting. This is a national park.
Yes.
We were out there for 5 hours with you two with a rig.
Yep.
I had my microphones and my cameras. Joe had on a backpack,
Doing nothing.
just sitting on a bench,
Doing absolutely
getting stopped
nothing.
by the religious people asking religious questions about God 17 times.
Can I talk to you about religion?
Right, I'm like, next time send them over to me and let us film it. But we were out there for 5 hours and not one park ranger came up to us to say anything. Now,
Shocked.
If they did come up to us, I would have pulled something out of my pants,
Oh God.
which was a
Where's the
letter,
quadcopter at?
which was an email from the Parks and Rec, the park administrator here that is in charge of
Leslie
getting permits. What'd you say?
Leslie Nope
Who?
Parks and
from
Rec.
Parks and
I never
Rec.
watched the show.
Oh, it's a
I'm
great
sorry.
show.
I emailed this person beforehand, a week before, and said, hey, I am looking to come out into the park to test out camera gear. I am bringing 2 filming people with me that will have camera rigs. Is that okay, or do I need a permit? And I put in there it's non-commercial use because theoretically it's non-commercial use. We're not selling it to somebody else. So I got an email back almost instantly and said, for what you're doing, you don't need a permit. Stay in this grassy area and you will be fine.
North of Chestnut.
Yes.
Right. And we did, and we were fine. And we were
perfect.
prepared. We were prepared. Don't
If
want
they
to go.
did come and stop us,
Didn't
yeah.
want to go into a situation like we've seen in some other viral video. They weren't even viral because they didn't get a lot of hits. But other videos where you just give the park rangers crap when you set up your gear.
Let me set up a full photo shoot in front of Independence Hall.
Right.
No one's going to stop me.
Right. A full with flashes and 20
Do you know
people
who I
watching.
am?
It's you just have to be prepared and don't look for a fight.
No.
Be prepared, be educated, and have the right stuff there because it's not really they're not out there to get photographers. But if they had 80 photographers out there doing portrait shoots for weddings, it starts to become an issue.
Oh, yeah. So with the XC10, my favorite part about it was the customizable buttons. There's 3 of them. There's a magnification button that they automatically put on their display and a push AF button. What I did is I reprogrammed this to push autofocus, this to ND filter, and this one to magnification so I can push in and double check focus while I was recording. So that was the best part. Also, I switched the iris, which you can pretty much switch to anything you want. I switched it to just control the aperture. So I set manually the
Or
shutter
ISO.
speed. Oh, you're right.
You said ISO. Yeah.
I set manually the aperture, the shutter speed, and I would just ride the ISO,
Sure.
which was extremely smooth. If I would go from
It's
2
cinematic.
to 800, very cinematic. And the loop saved me too, just because it was very sunny in there too. Like there was open windows,
Oh, yeah.
glass everywhere.
Yep.
It's a great camera though. I
Broken
really,
glass
really enjoyed it. The
everywhere.
autofocus. Phenomenal.
You like it?
Shocked. Yes. I had it on auto the entire time. There was a couple times where I had to just readjust, but it would follow your face because it has that function in here.
All right. So
and that's
far,
perfect.
you think this is something that you would want to carry around?
Mhm. And the best part is it would track your face. You would turn around and it would still know that was you, even with the back of your afro. And
Right.
It would track you.
All right.
But yeah.
All right,
Great camera.
we'll have a full review at some point, but we wanted to actually use this in a real world situation,
First time using it for me too.
and it's not the greatest thing in the world because it's a first generation product,
Of course.
but they're going to take the feedback that we give and that other people that use it give and evolve this into a much better system. I mean, it's a great system already just from the little bit we've played with it, and we'll go from there. Joe's doing the wheel, right?
Don't you break that, Joe. Get it exactly where it goes.
So
or
thankful
you're
Todd's
fired.
not getting the freaking wheel anymore.
First and foremost, hit Steven with it. Is how I've always done it.
Steven, I don't think he landed right.
Nope, he didn't.
Damn you, Joe. You're fired.
Show him.
It's all good.
Boom.
There we go. Get that off the table. Here we go. Thank you, Todd. What did it feel like not to have to get the wheel this week?
Wonderful.
Felt
I've got
good
a
on my
terrible
back.
Case of
Not
gas.
getting run into it every time now.
All right, so here is the Wheel of Fro. This is what everybody waits to see each and every week. I don't actually know that they do that. But on the wheel, we have Black Rapid. We've got Rode microphones. We have, 2 weeks in a row it's landed on Rode.
It has, yeah.
And so the two people that won,
So probably won't today.
I submitted your information to the home office of Rode, and they will be sending you your prizes from Australia.
So you'll get it in about 3 weeks.
Oi!
Crikey.
Oi!
Crikey.
If it lands here, you get to spin again.
Oh, that's my favorite.
You get a Ninja.
On here, you've got the Atomos Ninja 2, and they've got the bare bones coming out. $395 is coming. It's going to be
So it's
$399.
not out yet.
No, it's available soon. I looked on B&H, and it still says available soon.
Okay.
I hope it becomes available damn soon.
Very soon.
Because for
Hurry
$395
up.
freaking dollars to have the ability to unlimitedly record, as long as you have enough battery and
How
storage.
much record?
Unlimitedly.
What?
Unlimitedly.
Say that again.
Pardon me?
Unlimitedly.
Unlimitedly?
Unlimitedly.
Comfortable.
Unlimitedly.
Record really long.
Record a long time.
There you go.
Okay. Yes. Okay, moving on. Adorama Picks. Go to adoramapicks.com. You can get some free stuff if you land on that. Fro prize, you win my face.
Can I get a bag?
No, you cannot get my bag.
Son of a...
That bag is very expensive. If you want to pick up my bag, you can do so at store.fronosphoto.com. It's $199.99 plus shipping. If you are out of this country right now,
Too bad.
unfortunately,
So sad.
we're not shipping it there due to the cost
Call
of shipping.
my house. I'll steal one and send it to you.
But that doesn't serve a purpose. It's still going to cost you the
Lines
insurance.
my pockets.
It's still going to cost money. It's still going to cost money to ship it and insure it, and then people may get taxes. And if it's a $200 bag, they're going to get
Crikey.
hit with $50 in taxes if it's 25% VAT.
Righto.
All right. Audioblocks.com/go/fro. We use Audioblocks. Lexar. Maybe, hey, Joe, make a
Nice.
note.
Very nice.
Not right now.
Get a new logo
make
for the wheel.
Make a note. Order
Please.
logo.
Find a
that-
12-year-old to write that so it looks better.
Is your daughter available?
Yes. I'll have her do bubble letters for you.
Can she?
Absolutely. She'll kill it.
Bring that in for next week.
Done and done.
Yeah. Make it sure it fits the hole on the wheel.
That's what she said.
All right. So Lexar is the official card of RAWtalk. We've been using them for a long time now. We've got the compact flash cards that we use. We've got the SD card, and we got the micro SDs up there.
And
up
the
there.
CFast we use in the XC10.
Adobe Lightroom. Maybe I should remove that at some point. Maybe we should find something else to put in there.
Why? Everyone needs Lightroom.
Yeah, they do, but maybe I want to put some cool prizes up. What,
Like your bag?
Telephone call with me.
yeah, telephone call with Todd if it lands on that, on top of winning Lightroom.
Done and done.
Rode-
Batman.
Rode microphone. We've got the question mark. That means you get anything on the wheel but the grand prize. Borrow lenses. Thank you for all the gear they're sending us. That allows us to do the real world reviews.
XC10.
We've got the Fro prize again. Squarespace.com/go/Fro for your Squarespace. No. Squarespace.com/Fro. No go. It's just squarespace.com/Fro. Get your 14-day free trial. Videoblocks.com/go/Fro. That's the ad plug for them. And Lexar written better the first time.
Barely.
Barely. All right, so we're going to spin this week for, we're not popping it up on the screen till after.
Yes.
You're going to have to wait and see, Todd. What time is it?
3 o'clock. Oh, spin the wheel.
Around and round it goes.
Watch your head, Steven!
Around and round it
didn't get
goes.
it chopped
Where
off.
it stops. Nobody knows the Wheel of Fro is going to stop this week on. Lexar! Oh, see?
Best logo ever.
Who needs a good logo when it lands
At least
on
it
you?
landed on the good one.
Yeah. Next week, we'll replace the Lexar bubble.
You
said
always
that
need
like
cards.
5 times.
You always need cards.
Well, you always need memory cards.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh.
I won that?
No, you didn't win. Why don't we pop up the person's name in 3, 2, 1, pop. You won. Woohoo! Somebody will be contacting you, and then you need to. And if
It'll
you
be
don't,
me.
If you don't hear from us, then send me a message on Facebook, and
Hey,
I'll
what are you
need your
doing?
address so we can decide what they're going to send. Don't
Hold on, I
forget.
need to call them.
Hey, what's your address?
Hold on, I need to come home really quick.
Personally sending them.
They also have the
hello.
hub. We use that hub nonstop.
All the time.
The Lexar hub with all the freaking
I've used it since
things.
the day it came out, pretty much.
You did because it was on your Christmas list.
It was.
And then I got one, and then
Santa
I
gave it to me.
Did
Now,
Santa bring it to you, Steven?
now I've got the one that uses Thunderbolt.
You've got
We've got the modules.
super fast one.
I've got the XQD card.
micro SD module.
I've got the micro SD module. I don't know why it has three
Takes
holes,
three.
but that thing heats up for some reason.
3 holes is
I don't
always
understand.
more fun.
And then I also have the CFast card slot, which we need with the XQ10.
Yes.
XC10. All right, that's Wheel of Fro. Thank you to everybody on the wheel for doing that. Joe, thanks for getting close to the spot. And I think that's going to... did I forget anything?
That's it.
Let's
That's the
see.
show.
Wheel of Fro, Dr. Koller interview, plugs, Gear of the Week, Steven's birthday, Joe's whatever. All right, guys. Good stuff.
Very good.
Thank you guys very much for watching and having your continued support. Please go to the website, fronosphoto.com/rawtalk-143 for all the photo stories and more, the photo news stories and more. I hope you like the new layout of the site because RAWtalk page is one of my favorite because of all the buttons that you have underneath it. Really good for downloading it.
If not,
subscribing.
you're stuck with it.
Yes. So really happy with the new website and happy with all that stuff. And happy birthday, Steven.
Thank you.
I have a gift for you.
You actually have a gift for me?
No, I don't. I know, because my gifts are usually
Got
pretty
me all
good.
excited.
I know. Well, you have a watch. That wasn't.
No, yeah, I
That
know,
wasn't
I
a birthday
That's
gift.
your gift forever.
That was just
You're
a
welcome.
gift. Like last time, I got him a 51.2
I know.
after I bought a 16 to 35 that he already owned.
He's like your sugar daddy.
Well, 5D Mark IV, dude. When a 5D Mark IV comes out, I'm ordering one.
Oh, I want one too.
Well, I'll order one.
When
Daddy,
and if
give
it
me
comes
one,
out.
Daddy.
I'll order one, and then I'll just let you use it.
Oh, you can just borrow it.
Well, I'll buy it.
All the time.
Well, yeah. I mean, with the amount of shooting we do,
Yeah.
it's not like if you're shooting.
I mean, I
a
use
show,
my own personal Mark III for every video that we do
Right.
outside of the loft for the most part.
Well, that's why I'm gonna order I'll order the 5D Mark IV
To pay
if
for
it's
all
the
the
right
time
thing.
I use my Mark III.
Well, right, and then we'll just use your Mark III as a backup,
That works.
or we'll just replace it because the Mark IV should be better.
I mean, we shoot in daylight most of the time anyway, so.
So,
Till we get those C300s.
Mark
Todd.
IIs.
Oh, right. Thank you, Todd.
Don't thank
Whatever.
him.
Joe,
I don't know why I came back.
Wait, do we thank Joe now, or do we make sure he didn't press?
absolutely not. Wait till we check the footage.
All right, we'll reserve that until later.
Well, thank you for the beer, Joe.
Screw you,
I'll say
Joe.
that.
Joe did a great job yesterday sitting on the bench with the gear. No, but it really helps having an assistant
really
out
does,
there,
dude.
so we don't have to worry
He
about
took all
it.
the notes. He did everything.
He
yeah.
did take notes.
Yeah, his notes are all right.
All right, so that's where we're going to end this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Jared Poland, FronosPhoto.com. See ya.